Socrates once said, "I know that I know nothing," which is evidence for my theory that he enjoyed taking the piss. God forbid Adam and Eve from eating the fruit of the tree of knowledge, and they told him to get stuffed, but what exactly did they gain by that? What is knowledge? In philosophy, we talk about two different kinds of knowledge. The first is knowledge that, knowing that something is true. And that gives us our first clue. If you know something, it must be true. You can't know that the world is flat or that 2 and 2 makes 5. If you know something, you presumably also have to believe it. It might be true that there are 5 million bicycles in Beijing, but if I don't believe that, then I can't really claim that I knew it. I have no beliefs about how much lead there is on Pluto, and therefore I have no knowledge about it. But it's not enough to just have a true belief. Suppose I believe I will win the lottery tomorrow, and hey, turns out I'm right, but I didn't know that was going to happen. It was just a guess. Now, if I had a friend in the lottery office and we had conspired together to rig it, well then I could claim that I knew I was going to win, because I had some justification for believing it. What exactly counts as justification? Well, yeah, that's a whole other thing. You see how difficult philosophy is now. You start with a simple question and before long you're falling down rabbit holes. But anyway, knowledge. Justified true belief. Seems like a pretty good definition, right? Job done. Well, maybe not. And it turns out that Pluto is actually quite important here, because it illustrates a very famous issue in philosophy called the Gettier Problem. For years, I, and a lot of other people, believed that there were 9 planets in the solar system. Then it turned out that Pluto wasn't a planet, so we were down to 8. But now it turns out there might actually be a 9th planet lurking out somewhere beyond Neptune. So assuming that planet 9 exists, for years we believed that there were 9 planets, it was true, and we were justified in believing it because people had gone and checked and astronomers had looked through telescopes. We weren't just guessing. And yet, we were in a sense wrong because we believed that Pluto was number 9, and it wasn't. Gettier problems are like that. They're imaginary scenarios where somebody has a justified true belief that nevertheless just seems too lucky to be knowledge. And a lot of epistemologists, that's philosophers of knowledge, are trying to figure out how to get around this. The second type of knowledge is knowing how, and mercifully this one's a little bit easier. Katherine Hawley says that knowing how to do something means that you would probably succeed at doing it if you tried under normal circumstances. So, I know how to ride a bike. What that means is, if I try to ride a bike, as long as something weird doesn't happen, like I get struck by lightning or the wheels fall off, I'll probably succeed at doing it. What's cool about knowledge how is that we may not be the only ones who have it. Animals might have knowledge how as well, and there's one in particular worth considering. Here's Danielle from Animalogic to tell you about them.
Hey Ollie! In octopuses, for example, scientists measured their intelligence by observing them opening clams and mussels. It turns out that they prefer eating mussels because they're easier to open. They decided to go with the path of least resistance. Even when they tried to cheat the octopus by wiring the mussel shut, the octopus switched strategies and went for the clam. Octopuses also use tools. The coconut octopus got its name by carrying coconuts with them for shelter when traversing the open sea floor. It's not just coconuts. A giant Pacific octopus named Billy has learned how to open child-proof pill bottles. They can break into and out of jars, can solve mazes, and recently, an octopus named Inky gained infamy when he escaped from an aquarium in New Zealand. Octopuses have the largest brain of any invertebrate, yet 2/3 of their neurons are located in their arms, meaning their arms can function completely independently. So while one arm is looking for food, the other one can be playing Octodad. Octopuses, and yes, that's the correct plural form, are mystifying creatures. And when you're done over here, come on over to Animalogic to learn more about the coolest animals in the ocean.
Wow, so octopuses are intelligent and delicious. Thank you, Danielle. So do octopuses have knowledge how? Well, maybe they can succeed at doing things, but consider this. Suppose every time I play poker, I win. But I don't actually understand the rules of poker, I just put down random cards, and everybody else is really, really bad at it, so I always win. I usually succeed in circumstances that are, for me, normal, but can we really say that I know how to play poker? Hawley says no, because you also need to understand the connection between your trying and the results that you achieve. which makes measuring octopus intelligence a little bit more difficult because we can't tell whether they understand things the way we do. We can't ask them. But if you click on that card that's just appeared in the top right, you can go over to Animalogic, where you'll find me and Danielle talking about octopuses solving puzzles. And those are the two main types of knowledge: knowledge that and knowledge how. Of course, what exactly Adam and Eve learned when they ate the forbidden fruit, the story doesn't say. We'll have to be content not having that knowledge. Hit subscribe for more videos about philosophy, and if you'd like to support education on YouTube, you can visit patreon.com/philosophytube.